Arr, a good boy be I, to lead thou to the inner realm of the soul. Now, actually, I'm not a pirate, but a local film production is looking for extras, and I agreed to be one. And so until around the end of the month, and they no longer need me, I have agreed not to cut my hair or to shave. Amazing what a week or so can do. It's going to be a little bit of a different look for me until this is done and I can shave this off. As for growing my hair long, or big, I like that. But this is a little different for me. I'm not quite sure. I kind of have the Jack, here's Johnny kind of look going on here. But anyway, I hope I don't look too freaky. Some people can make this look right. I'm not sure if I can. Just that I'm not used to it, so I'm not quite sure how to. I don't want to do anything to it because they asked me just to let it grow. So it is what it is. Anyway, that explains me how I will be looking for a little while. I wanted to go into a subject of thinking outside the box. Is it something is very wrong about this world, it seems to me, about working for a buck to pollute and so on. I've been talking to a friend of mine recently, and this came up, and I got thinking about how weird that is. That we think that we're taking part in progress and something positive, and really we're destroying everything of value. Killing the surface of the planet and everything. War. The pharmaceutical companies who'd rather let people die and suffer than to actually search or allow cures that are discovered because they lose money. It's sickening what's going on. And our whole way of thinking is just backwards. But I know everyone feels lost in this game and they're not quite sure what to do. But I think that with the change of consciousness, with the growth of awareness, with a sense of self-empowerment, so to speak, that things may begin to change. If we begin to think differently, we begin to approach things differently, to problem solve differently, obviously the world will change. It comes down to how all of us, each of us, interacts with this world. I wrote the following when I was feeling a little bit inspired recently. Turn off the intellect and dream instead. Let the unconscious thoughts surface. The unconscious energies storm up through imagination. It is an opening to the inner realm. Imagine a long hallway, all these doors going to this deep, dark part of the hallway. And imagine that you're there at the end of this dark hallway. Imagine that you've been there for quite some time and you forgot that you were. And you come to and you're conscious. And you step out of the darkness and you see the hallway. And you see all these doors. And you open a door and you look through and you see a green, beautiful looking land. And wow, that's interesting. I wonder if this is outside of every door. So you open another door. Then you see hell, fire, and everything is chaotic. And you close that door and you open another door. And then you see all kinds of structures and everything. People walking around in robes with all these rules and regulations and strange rituals. Okay, so you close that door. Every time you open another door, you see a different perspective. So which one of these doors leads to the ultimate reality? Well, the truth is, they're all different alternate realities, different perspectives on reality. And as you begin to realize this, you go further and further along the hallway until you come to a door at the end, a large door. And you you walk through that door, and you step into a larger hallway, where the doors are even larger than in the other hallway, and it's brighter. You see more clearly. And so you begin opening these doors. And as you do, you see more purity, less confusion than you did in the realms that you into from the other hallway. Here you see beautiful, fantastic images. You see people who look very inspired and very enlightened. And it's beautiful and interesting and sometimes weird or maybe sometimes intimidating, but really interesting looking worlds this time. And you're not sure, you're thinking, wow, there's quite a number of different worlds here I'd like to spend time in. Which one would I actually like to go into? But then the thought occurs to you, well, it's just in another hallway. These are just perspectives still. And then you look and you see a big golden door. And you step through the golden doorway. And you come onto this great room, almost like a foyer, not where the stairs dominate, but anyway, a big, beautiful space. And there's lots of paintings on the wall and statuettes, and very enlightened people walking around in robes and stuff. And these people know about the hallways and these perspectives, and they know there's always people in those through those different doorways, into those different perspectives that are lost. And these people in these robes know that. Now, there's different color robes because these different people follow different followings. They have different groups, and each of them looks at it differently. But they are aware of these different hallways, these different perspectives, and how people are lost, and they're trying to wake them up. But then you stop and think, well, what's outside of this door, this platinum door? Wonder what's outside this door, and you step outside the structure, and there just is. It's just light, it's peace, it's consciousness, and it's all energy. And you turn and you look, and the whole damn structure is an illusion, an expression of energy. Who knows why? So what would you do? Would you leave and never go back? Or would you be tempted to step back inside and try to mingle with these people and try to inspire them? Try to inspire them to realize that they're trapped in perspectives and that there's something greater outside of what they understand to be reality. Would you leave, or would you stay in, or go back and try to help them? And if you did, how exactly would you try to help them? Wouldn't they think that you're crazy? And ultimately, how do you know that even life as you understand it even then isn't an illusion? How do you know any of this is really real? Well, these are just the kinds of thoughts that I have. Just something I wanted to share. Obviously, we are all in one hallway or another for one reason or purpose or another. Somehow, though, I think we need to keep searching and keep opening those doors, and realize that there's always something greater, greater understanding waiting us. We think we know reality. We think we got it pegged, but we don't. Don't think you have it pegged. There's more yet. That's why we say life is a mystery, because there's a lot more yet to discover.